What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, you guys. It is the 10th day of July. Here we are with about 8 hours left in the day, sitting just below, right around our all-time highs. Looking like we do want to break through and go higher, but I do want to err on the side of caution for today and maybe even the days to come. It's very possible that we do see some type of a pullback that could take us back down to like 109.6K, 110K, something around there, maybe even just a little bit lower than what we've seen today. I've got these lines, these white lines pulled up, and I'll show you what they are. Okay, if we're looking at the 4-hour time frame, every time that we've gotten, not every time we've gotten into the RSI's overbought zone, but every time that we've gotten in and then out, those little peaks, which we did here, we got in and out. I want to go over what that looked like in Bitcoin's recent history here. So here, we got in, we got out, and then we went slightly higher. We had like a fake out high of this overall range, just like we were breaking out, just to come all the way back down and find support at the like a higher low of this range, right? Like if these blemishes didn't happen, it's like you were just range bound this whole time, and then you had the real breakout happen, right? Here, on this 4-hour candle, we got in and out. We just moved straight down. Here, we moved up, we moved down, and then we had a slightly higher high, yet again, slightly higher high, fake out, and then we went down. We had a big crash. Here, slightly higher high, fake out, and then we went down. I'm not saying that we have to go down. I'm not saying that we have to go up and then down. I'm just saying one of those two options essentially is what we've seen. And I think if it were to be this option, we would have done it already. So I am a little bit cautious, bullishly optimistic, but cautiously optimistic nonetheless, that if we were to see a slightly new high, a new all-time high today, that could get rejected and likely would get rejected, and we would probably see prices come all the way back down to about 109K. We're at 111.38K right now. 3 hours, 55 minutes left in this 4-hour. It's a new 4-hour candle. 7 hours, 55 minutes left in the day. Again, I'm not saying that we have to move up first, but just looking at what we've done, that would make sense. And even if we do move up, maybe it's the real deal. Maybe we break out and we go way higher. I don't know. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if we saw a slightly new all-time high, slightly higher, right? I know that's what we got yesterday. Technically, it was like $1 or $2 higher, just barely higher, but something a little bit more pronounced, maybe that's deeper into 112K area, and then we drop. That would be my expectation at the moment. Okay. Hopefully what we don't get is a rejection off the overbought zone, because if we come all the way up here and we reject off the overbought zone, like if today we're closing up here rejecting off the overbought zone, we'd probably come back down to the 60 at least to find support there, right? You've got these kind of higher lows coming in line there. If not, we drop down to the 50, and that kind of a drop, it's very common when you reject the overbought area to go to your 50, right? Like here, rejected the overbought, found support at the 60, but inevitably you went lower. Right? Rejected the overbought zone, went below the 50. Rejected the overbought zone, went below the 50. Went just above the 50. Right? Rejected the overbought zone, below the 50. Here, though, you did have that momentary kind of bounce. So there is hope. Oop, okay, I didn't mean to do that. But I'm just saying, just putting this on your radar, what the possibilities might be. Looking at the 1-hour RSI. I don't know what's up with the volume here. Hold on, let me do this. Sometimes the volume's weird. If I just move it down here and then I move it back, it should fix itself. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. 111.38K, 1-hour RSI, looking bullish, looking very bullish. It's a new hour right now, so just because it's slanted down right now, or now it's slanted up, doesn't mean that it has to go down. We are finding support in this line, this line of trajectory. I don't know what the proper phrase would be for that. Finding support there, looking like we're pressing higher. We do have higher highs in this range finally, right? You had this little pennant pattern right here. You broke out to the downside, and now you're back up. So that's pretty cool. That's good to see. And I would think with that, we do continue going higher. Just looking at it here. 4-hour time frame. Again, we went over that. Getting back into the overbought zone might promote some bearish divergence if we do see that slightly higher high. Even if we don't have bearish divergence, we get rid of it. Wouldn't surprise me still if we saw some kind of rejection at a slightly higher high. That's the expectation. Looking at the daily time frame now, daily RSI. Why? Okay, I didn't know I was on the brush. Daily RSI is very bullish, very, very bullish, but we're in a position where I think we could still come down and still come back up. Like, it wouldn't be a big deal. I just wouldn't like to see us get to the overbought zone and reject it. I would either like to see us get into it or just not even go there at all. Just get a red day. Maybe we can wick to new all-time highs and then close back down by the end of the day. Close here or lower, because closing green is not a big deal. But if we get too much higher, we reject the overbought zone. I mean, we even closed here before, and that promoted us some very significant drops. I don't want to see that, right? I don't think anybody wants to see that, except for the bears. If we're looking at this on a weekly time frame, the weekly RSI looks very bullish, my friends. Very, very bullish indeed. Yes, we do have bearish divergence at the moment, a slightly lower high with the higher high. But, I mean, unless we close this week back below 109.3K, which I don't know about you guys, but I don't see that happening. Unless we close below there, I'm not anticipating that we will reject this area. I think what might happen is we come up, we close this week up here, somewhere around here, maybe even at new weekly or new all-time highs. Maybe we close it, above 112K. And then, oops, okay, I didn't mean to do that. And then next week, we'll probably pull back test this area of like 108K, 109K, 110K, somewhere around there. Give the bears some hope at first. It'll look red. Bearish divergence, I told you it was happening. And then as the week goes on, we'll actually continue and we'll move higher. I think next week should be very bullish indeed for Bitcoin and crypto, my friends. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I know the last video I made had that audio over it, so I'm remaking this video now. So hopefully you guys click on it and don't just assume that it's got that audio playing over it. All right, take care. Bye.